you hear my side of the story. What actually happened. Escobar looked at me, his head resting on closed fists. His eyes gave nothing away. For all I knew, he was plotting a particularly gruesome way to kill me. After what seemed like a minute, Escobar took a deep breath and exhaled. I believe you, my friend. And after what you said regarding Mr. Gotti's motives also rings true. That disappoints me. The man was out of line and deserved what was coming to him. I wish to apologize again for your treatment. But understand, my knowledge of the incident came from Mr. Gotti, whom I look upon now in a different light. He shook my hand. This matter has been cleared up. I wish to ask a favor of you before I have my men take you to the airport for your journey home. I had no idea I was leaving after this meeting, but that was good to hear. I was also so relieved with his assessment of the incident. I would have granted any favor within my power. Certainly anything I could do, I said, trying to sound sincere. What he wanted was for the two of us to act out a scene from The Godfather, the one with Michael confronting Carlo Rizzi about his duplicity and being instrumental in getting Michael's brother, Sonny, whacked. It was like I'd gotten bitch slapped with a tire iron. I couldn't believe this guy. I had met rabid fans of the picture over the years, but nothing like Escobar. I made sure I maintained my poker face. Escobar, I was to find out, fancied himself a bit of an actor. And who was I to disagree? It turned out he wasn't bad. Sure, it would be an honor, I said, trying to keep my voice steady, acting as though his request seemed perfectly reasonable. I arranged the chairs closely mimicking the scene in the movie. Escobar, who by this time was insisting I call him Pablo, would be playing Michael's role, while I was in familiar territory, being Carlo Rizzi. I set it up verbally and offered to write Michael Corleone's lines for him. No need, Gianni. I have them up here. And he tapped to his head. We ran through the scene several times without acting, just to make sure he had everything right. Escobar was correct. He knew the Michael part. The last time we went through the scene, Escobar actually handed me an envelope with plane tickets in it, just like in the picture. At that moment, I got the nagging feeling that the end results of this scene would be the same as in the picture. Carlo was going to die, and only this time for real. I looked in the envelope, just as Brando instructed me to do when we shot the scene. There were 2 real plane tickets in there. One for me to Miami, the second one to get me to Vegas. It took all my acting chops to get through the scene. I was scared, and I felt justifiably so. Why wasn't Escobar having this scene videotaped? This was the Godfather movie buff's opportunity of a lifetime. I was sure that one of the richest men in the world must own a video camera. The only answer could be that I was going to die for real, strangled in the car that was supposed to take me to the airport, just like the movie. He didn't want it recorded for posterity, because the tape would be damning evidence should it ever be leaked. No one but John Gotti and Escobar knew about this meeting. I would simply vanish. My legacy would have me being featured on an episode of 48 Hours titled, Whatever Happened to Gianni Russo? Between my aching groin and rubbery legs, I had a difficult time walking to the car in the circular driveway that was to take me to the airport. A new Cadillac sedan was waiting for me. I went for the back door, but Escobar held the front door open for me. You ride in the front, Gianni. Better to see the beautiful scenery. I slid onto the front seat. In the back seat were 2 muscle guys who had beaten my balls to mush. One of them said, "Hello, Carlo." Carlo. We were still in the Godfather mode. Those were the last words my Carlo character heard before Clemenza choked the life out of him. A vision of my daughter Carmen flashed through my mind. I took a deep breath, knowing it would be my last. I didn't want to suffer, but I didn't fear death as much as the thought of how Carmen would wonder for the rest of her life what happened to her father. Instead of the Colombian necktie, I got a slap on the back and roars of laughter. My new best friend Pablo had stepped a few feet away from the car and was laughing along with the 2 killers in the back seat. "Have a safe trip, Gianni," Pablo said, and waved as the car inched away from the driveway. I just had been a victim of a Colombian cartel version of a practical joke.